Well, in the Rugby League Antiques Roadshow, this may be our finest ever segment. Why am I holding a squash racket? Well, in the show tonight, we are talking about an old Rugby League Players Squash Challenge that was run by the Channel 9 network. We're talking 1979, 1980 and 1981. Now, here's where the story goes. A few weeks ago at Penrith, a fan comes up to me, called John, and says, "You never believe what I picked up at an antique store, and can you get your man to put a price on it?" Our man being Dan Payne of Dan's NRL Collectables.
Hey.
G'day, mates.
How are you, bossy?
Not too bad. This is Trophy Week on the Fan. Mine's bigger than yours because this is what John picked up at the antique store for $160.
What?
This is the Rugby League Squash Cup. You go through the plaques, 1979, Michael Sorodini from the St George Dragons, Arthur Beetson, 1980. Arthur was a sensational squash player,
Certainly
great
was.
touch.
Yep.
And 1981, Ian Schubert, when he's playing for Wests. Has John bought well for $160? The actual
Oh, my word, he's bought very well. You could add another zero on there and still buy well.
Yes.
You know, being a squash player myself, this is an artefact. This is as good as it gets.
Well, now, what could possibly be the story behind this trophy ending up in an antique store out in the western suburbs of Sydney? Do we tie it back to Ian Schubert as the last recipient?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind would be some sort of salary cap scandal.
So are you suggesting that Shuey had to dump this off because of payments under the table?
I think so. Well,
what do we say? He's a criminal? What do we... No, and don't sue us, but we're just putting two and two together here and getting five.
That's right.
That's amazing. So the Rugby League Squash Cup, who would have ever known it's still in existence?
And it's missing one
top.
piece on the top.
Sure.
But it's a beautiful piece, isn't it?
It's the real thing. Now, we go along to a trophy of your... Well, not of your own. It's been sent to you by a former great player, Percy Knight from the Balmain Tigers. Now, back in the day, kiddies, we had the Dally M Awards and the Rothmans Medal. So we had two Player of the Year awards. The Dally M's kicked off in 1980. And you're going to tell me this was the very first trophy that was awarded on the night.
Certainly was, because they had a voted best player of every team. And Balmain being out, they did it alphabetically, so Balmain was first, came off the rank.
We've got some video footage of this.
No judge had anything to do with this other than you people who buy and read the Daily Mirror and took time out this year to send coupons in voting for the player you believe to be the most popular player inside your club. From Balmain, he's been all over the place. In 1980, at the end, Dennis Tutty found that he was a halfback. Yes, Percy Knight.
You weren't lying. This is the truth. Percy got this trophy.
The very first one. Like, that's...
most popular player.
And feel the weight of that. Like, that's terrific, isn't it?
That's great. So, what if one of these, as with the Squash Cup, ends up in an antique store and someone happens to come across it?
Well, any year, I think a Dally M would be 1,500.
All right.
But being the first one, and the history of being the first one, 2,000 up to 3,000, anywhere in that range.
Well, that has been an absolutely mind-blowing Rugby League Antiques Roadshow segment. Dan, I'll let you get back to looking at this Crushers.
Well, they spelled collectible wrong.
That's interesting.